Hey there, beautiful YouTube family. All right, guys, that intro video was me getting tossed off of a trade by my stop loss, getting right back on and trying to ride these wild markets. Let's watch that video one more time. That's the way it feels sometimes. You get thrown off a trade, you turn right around, you have to get back on, even though it seems like absolute chaos. That's the way Wall Street is, guys. It's a mixed day, but mostly green, and I want to point out NVIDIA. NVIDIA is testing the top of its range. Now I want you guys to watch for a move and a close above $482. If NVIDIA were to give us that, then I think we would have a macro confirmation of a move all the way as high as 550. But we've got to be aware that 482 is going to be a place where the bulls and the bears are going to fight it out. So unless we get above 482, 550 is just a dream. Go ahead and mark your chart with my prediction. Keep it on your watch list, and let's just see if we get a close above, a back test of that number. That's when we could go much, much higher, and it would be a huge bullish signal for the entire market, because if these bigger tech stocks are going to continue to run, it means that the smart money does not see an end to this move anytime soon. So when we see these types of plays, that's what it tells me. It tells me that the bigger move up is getting more confirmed each and every day. And along the lines of that idea, we see that Microsoft is having an absolute incredible day. It's broken out above its all-time high, and it's had an amazing move today. And I think there's at least 3 takeaways that I got from this move that I'm going to share with you guys. It previously was rejected at 351 bucks, and today it shot right through that wall, and it's moved all the way up to around 367 bucks. It's slightly, though, above resistance right now, which means that it could sell off and go beneath that resistance again. If it wants to continue to climb throughout the day today, it could go as high as 372 bucks, or we could see some follow through tomorrow with a final push up to 372. That's a pretty high price, and support right now is 345 bucks, so keep it in perspective. But there are 3 takeaways from this move. 1, this candle that we got today on Microsoft is a confirmation that it's going to continue to climb. This is an important candle. This was a break above the all-time highs, and it's doing what Apple did earlier this year. Even though Apple stock took some time to process the price range above its breakout, it ultimately moved up another $20, reaching 195 bucks, and that move may not be over yet. We may still get a move up on Apple to $200 and $205, and I think that tells us that Microsoft absolutely has more room up after it digests today's move. And the number 2 takeaway from this Microsoft move today is this is another big tech stock that's pushed above its all-time high. That's just telling us that Apple was the first, and there's going to be a lot more to follow, and that this bull run should not be underestimated. And number 3, I'm going to take this as bullish news for my Google play, which I brought to you guys recently, that it's only just beginning to move. You got to remember, Google and Microsoft are each other's biggest competitors in reaching and achieving their AI goals. And I think if Microsoft can get above its all-time high, Google can get back to its all-time high. Is it all good news? Is this bull market never going to stop going up? Well, I've told you guys in previous videos what it's going to take. It's going to take bear capitulation. It's going to take them giving up on trying to guess the top of each of these stocks. It's going to take them giving up on trying to buy Microsoft and short it all the way back down to the bottom. It's when they close their short positions and jump on the bullish market, we're going to see parabolic moves. Like Microsoft kind of moved parabolic today, NVIDIA has moved parabolic in recent days. It's going to be those type of moves that's going to tell us that the bears are finally joining the bulls, but that's also when we need to be the most concerned. I think we're getting closer and closer each and every day. This is the Stocks with Josh show. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for hitting that like. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I've got a very good show today, and I think it's kind of like a charting class. I don't go in too heavy. Everything I'm going to share today is super simple, but it's all seasoned information, and I think it can help you with all of your trades. Even if you're not trading the particular stock that I'm going to focus on today, I think that this information could help you make decisions, better decisions about your investments in all of the stocks and cryptos that you're currently looking at. So let's get into it. All right, I want to start off with a couple news stories. one out of Canada and the other one here out of the US. In Canada, they had their CPI number came out and it was lower than what was expected. Their actual CPI reading was 2.8% and they were forecasted a reading of 3%. The previous read was 3.4%. So that's showing some great progression in the price of goods coming down. But the other side of that coin is if inflation is coming down so well, the other thing that any of us investors need to have in the forefront of our mind is, are we possibly leaning into deflation? Is the economy slowing down? We want to see inflation under control, but we also don't want to see the economy tip over into recession or tip over into deflation. So these are things to celebrate today because it's good news today, but there's a little bit of caution in that progress. We want to see if we don't follow up with some concerning unemployment and some concerning slowing economic data. So that is something that I'm keeping my eye out for. I know I've got a ton of Canadian followers out there today. Let me know in the comments what you thought of that CPI, or just throw the Canadian flag and a heart in there and say hi. Okay, here in the United States, we had the retail sales month over month. Now this one actually was very concerning and I was shocked. Didn't really seem to impact the markets. Retail sales measures the volume of all retail business. It is the foremost indicator of consumer spending. And so it dropped, which was not good. The actual read was 0.2% and the forecast was supposed to be 0.5% and the previous read was 0.5%. So this was a falling off. So what does that mean? We should be concerned, but we have to identify what was the reason for this to occur. Different reasons it could occur would be that people are having lower pay, higher unemployment. Well, we're not seeing that. We're still seeing a tight labor market. We're still seeing wages go up in the US. So why are we seeing the retail spending or the retail consumer spending drop like this? Well, that could be that people are running out of cash and they're running out of credit. And that's where we could begin to see some further or continued contraction in the American economy. And so I'm just going to say this is going to set up some of the stocks that I'm going to cover today that are sitting at all-time highs. You have to remember that we are at a point where we might be in the space where we are buying the rumor of a strong economy, selling the news on the fact that we were right, things have looked pretty good, but you have to remember that the Wall Street is always forward-looking. And trust me, the smart money did not miss this report. They did not lose sight of the fact that there was lower consumer spending, because that will hit all of the companies. It'll hit the bottom line for everybody. If cash and credit is depleting, we're going to see a bigger hit in the coming months with corporate earnings. All right, but today we're going to be talking about Tesla. We're going to be talking about the opportunity in Tesla, and I'm going to be talking about some important technicals that I see in the charts, but I'm going to keep it simple. You guys are going to understand it. It's going to seem very, very clear. At the end of this video, I'm going to do a brief talk about crypto, and I'm going to do a small lightning round on some of your favorite stocks, so watch until the very end. We know that we've got earnings tomorrow on Tesla. Now, when we closed above 286, that confirmed the possible move up to 300 and even as high as 325. They're on the table right now, but we need to see confluence in the charts, and that's what this video is about today. We want to see it stay above 286 because we can't, once we break 286, we don't want to see it close beneath very quickly in the following days. Tomorrow, it could easily crash beneath 286, and it would take those beautiful high numbers of 300 and 325 off of the table. Right now, they're on the table, so it's an exciting moment. I'm in Tesla, and so I'm just like you. I'm going to be having to make some decisions, and I'm going to share with you how my decisions have been influenced by the chart here. So let's look at this. Basic charting 101 class today on Tesla. Now, there is an ominous but a very simple signal in the Tesla chart. And that's what I want you guys to be aware of right before earnings. What is this ominous signal, Josh? Well, it's something that a lot of people can easily overlook, and it's trade volume. Trade volume has really gone down today, and it's been going down on Tesla as Tesla's been climbing. Low trade volume on a bullish chart absolutely signals a potential reversal, and it is a bearish sign. And so we do have decreasing trade volume right now on Tesla. Just like low volume on a bearish chart is actually really bullish. It shows that the selling pressure as a stock is in decline is decreasing and decreasing over time. Likewise, the buying pressure on Tesla has been decreasing and decreasing over time. If Tesla was going to go significantly higher than today's price, we would want to begin to see the trade volume be slowly increasing as we move towards earnings. So we basically have a strong signal that the current momentum is absolutely coming to an end. Now, some of you guys are gonna be like, Josh, man, what are you saying? You're raining on my Tesla parade. Tesla is going to the moon, man. You know, we've got the possibility of some great news coming out of Tesla. Elon's always pumped. He's probably going to give us some very bullish forward guidance. We're going to hear about the Tesla truck and all sorts of exciting Tesla initiatives and growth opportunities. But you have to remember that Wall Street has already considered them. They've already priced them in. That's why we've enjoyed this massive run-up. We have to look at both sides of the story. I am currently in Tesla, and I'm absolutely going to share my game plan with you guys. All right, let's just go through some of the facts. If we were to hit $307 in the Tesla chart, that would be a full 100% move up from the low of $153 that we saw in April. Now, the last time that we moved up from January's $101 low, we moved up 114%. And then after that, we got a 2-month and a 30% sell-off. So if we hit $325, that would actually be the same 114% move up, which is very similar to the last. And as I just got done telling you guys, there is a path to 325 on the table. So how do we determine if it's going to get there? Well, we have to look at things like the RSI, the relative strength index, because that indicator tells us what the momentum is. And what we want to see, if we want to get a similar result to the last move, we want to see if it's operating under similar momentum as we had previously had. But we're trying to do a handful of things. One, I will tell you exactly what I'm doing with my Tesla trade. Two, I'm trying to teach you guys how to look at the charts and how to run your own technicals. And three, I want you to make your own wise financial investments. We're looking at the RSI chart here, and we see that we actually have very bad bearish divergence in the RSI chart, which means we do not have the same momentum that we previously had when we went up 114%. The momentum is absolutely slowing down, which tells us that this upwards move is absolutely coming to an end. And so we cannot ignore that we see that we have decreasing volume, which is bearish, and we have bearish divergence on the momentum, which is bearish. And so we need to just understand this. Does it mean sell, sell, sell right now? No, because we're not at the end of the move, but we're extremely close to it. And tomorrow is earnings, and so you can easily see how these things could potentially come to a head. When we get to the very top of Tesla, we know, like I talked about in yesterday's video, that we're going to ultimately hit a wall of resistance, and we're going to then bounce all the way back to the other side of the chart and get to the support ranges. Where are the two biggest long-term historic support ranges for Tesla right now? Well, they're easy to see. One is at $240 and the other is at $208. Both of these have served in the past to be resistance. And you have to remember that as a chart goes bullish and moves up, where it once found resistance and ultimately breaks through, it comes back and it finds that to be support. So what was previously resistance in the future becomes support. And the two biggest ranges that we have contended with ever since 2021 was the $240 mark and the $208 mark. And so at some point, we could absolutely expect to see those serve as support in the future. Those would be the most ideal places to potentially buy or go long. Let's take a look at that second goal that I was just talking to you guys about, which is making smart financial decisions. Someone out there, very likely in YouTube land or over in Reddit land, got so pumped on Tesla that they're planning right now to buy the top of this run. I want you guys to look at this chart with me. The last order on the last peak for Tesla was $217.65, and some extremely bullish person bought that price thinking that Tesla was immediately going to go into the profit and go higher from there, but it didn't. That was the last order at the peak of that run. But it actually took 109 days for that person to break even. Or even better yet, if we take a long-term view of Tesla and we go back to its all-time high, we see that it's been 621 days, almost 2 years since somebody purchased the all-time high price of $414.50 on Tesla, imagining that it was only going to go up from there, and immediately afterwards it fell 30%, and even today we're not back to that price. They're still not at a place where they've broken even, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, it's not BlackRock, State Street, or the 3,460 hedge funds that are operating here in the US. I looked up that number to see how many hedge funds were operating in the US so I could make that point to you guys. It's not the smart money that's going to buy the top of this current Tesla move, and it wasn't smart money that bought Tesla near 415 bucks. It is typically the retail traders, and that's why I'm trying to hone you guys in on what the charts are telling us. Yes, do we want to take advantage of the final push up on Tesla? Yes, we do, but we also don't want to be the last purchase at the top of the heap. I absolutely do not want that to be one of you guys. Guys, I know there's a ton of stocks that you guys would love for me to cover. APLD, the AI play. Nothing's changed. It's just looking for support. NEO, I told you guys that NEO could hit $11.50. It hit $11.32. Is it going higher or lower? I absolutely have an opinion on that. Soun AI, S-O-U-N. Is it time to buy? Not for me. My target's $3. I mentioned that in that video. SoFi, what's happening to SoFi? Well, I want you guys to look at this trend line that I gave you guys in a recent video when the price was around $5.50. On that day, I said the SoFi trend was absolutely pointing up. And I'm going to tell you guys that it's still pointing up and it's still looking bullish to me, but I do have an opinion as to where it's going to go next. I'm going to give you guys this quick chart. I want you guys to screenshot it and then we'll chart and track it together to see how it plays out. I think it looks like there's going to be a trade range ahead of us between $11.50 to around $8.20 price range. You don't want to be the buyer at $11.50. You want to try to be the buyer at $8.20. But you know what it takes? It takes patience. It takes, if you get stop loss out on your trade, just like that intro video where the guy swung around the horse, you have to just turn around and get back in with confidence at the right price. Don't let the price action get you all worked up. You guys know I'm not going to be able to cover every stock every day. You guys have to find me on the moomoo chat for more predictions. If you don't have moomoo and you are in the US and Australia, you can click on the link in that top pinned comment and you can get the app, as well as the free stock that they offer for new accounts. It's like a stock lottery. Each stock has the potential value of $2,000. I'm not sure if anybody has gotten the $2,000 stock yet, but I'd love to hear from you guys what you do get. The offer is also different for Australia than the US. You got to click on the link to look at the exact details. Check it out, and then you can come find the chat group that I host on the app. I call it Stock Josh Fam. Okay, final thoughts on the day. I want to briefly just touch on crypto. Crypto chart does not look good today, but there is one outlier, which is XRP. And I wanted to remind you guys that it would at least come up and hit around $1, maybe $1.05, depending on how long it takes to make this thrust up. But the chart looks bullish to me, and I don't think that this current run is over. So don't get discouraged. XRP's showing us an early sign of where things are going to go. And I think that if XRP pushes up, I also think it's going to add some momentum to the rest of crypto. And I still am expecting some kind of move on Bitcoin, and I think it's coming very, very soon. So this was just a tail end of the video reminder to keep your eye on crypto. I think we're going to see it turn real soon, possibly bullish. Someone will ask me in the comment section, well, Josh, are you going to sell your XRP at $1, $1.05? No, I love holding XRP. I don't ever want to sell XRP. I've come so accustomed to being a bag holder, I wouldn't know what to do if I didn't own thousands of dollars of XRP with the anticipation of making millions. No, I'm a little bit joking, but I will tell you guys, I don't intend to sell my XRP. It's too early for me. Even if we were to run up to $1 and come back to 70 cents or 60 cents, I'm okay with holding. I'm looking for a much better price in the next bull run on XRP. That's it for today. Don't forget to hit the like. I get at least 25,000 views per video, but only about 2,500 likes. 10% of you show the love, and I appreciate that. Hit the subscribe and the YouTube all notification bell to get the notice of my next video, as well as to get my next stock and crypto prediction. That's it. Peace and blessings. Love you all. Take care.